Hello sheep friends, welcome back to BRG. It is the 12th of July and we are finally at the tail end of lambing 2025. It feels like it's been forever. Long story short, we put in young ram and he didn't get everybody bred. And then we put in our older ram later. He cleaned up everybody, but it was so late that we just started lambing mid-June and are finally done mid-July. And so in today's video, I wanted to just talk really quick about all the negatives that we have found of lambing in July. I'll try to keep it brief for you guys. But this is definitely something that we are not going to be doing ever again. Trying to figure out different options of what to do so we never have this problem again. I think a teaser ram is in our near future, so we can try to, uh-oh, Mama forgot a twin. Try to not have this problem again. Thankfully, the Lord has been good to us, and we have had some mild days. Like today, it was overcast pretty much all day, and in the 80s. And so the last, 2 weeks, we've had some pretty good days that are just like that, 80s, not super humid. We have had a couple of terribly humid days in the upper 90s, which we had a couple cows die from like overheating. And of course, you do have death loss with that of lambs. They were like the newer born lambs. I think they just didn't get enough colostrum in them, like born in the morning, but just didn't get enough colostrum and milk in them that first day, which just kind of set them up for failure. The ones that were born on like a mild day and then had, a couple of good days under their belt, they have been doing amazing. Thankfully, our embryo transfers are, we had 3 ewe lambs, Aussie whites that were born out, and they were born on those cool days and had a few good days before it got hot, so they were fine. We're also keeping them in pretty high forage, so I've noticed when I come out here, they'll be like hiding in places like this. Mom will be bedded down and the babies will be bedded down, just kind of giving them a little bit of shade. We do have one lonesome tree out here, so after last week with it being really hot, or like the last couple of days, Ryan was insistent that we put them in the tree area for a little bit. I was like, I know, but thankfully I think we only have 1 or 2 left of lambing to lamb, and then we'll be done. And like I said, the lambs that are big enough are doing really well. Thankfully, our lambs that were born in May to our new Aussie white ram, they're little tanks and they actually need to be weaned. That's another whole thing of this, is we started lambing mid-May and now it's mid-July, and so we have the full spectrum of ages and weights of lambs. So that's not the best. I don't know. Definitely something that I don't want to do in the future. I did just want to mention one last little thing with this. I had a experienced sheep friend tell me that one of the reasons that she doesn't want to lamb in July, I guess I have 2 things for you guys. For her, like, she doesn't like to lamb in the heat because, why is a little newborn lamb going to want to drink warm milk? And that makes total sense to me. I'm like, oh yeah, like that would not be my first thought. And then she also said that the mothers get like overly tired pushing out a lamb when it's hot, and then they're like, I don't know, it can mess up the birthing process for them. They can get too exhausted and have a hard time during labor. Thankfully, we didn't have any of that, but we did have, goodness guys, I think we lost probably 4 or 5 lambs because of this heat. Yeah, just some I found dead out here. Some were panting really bad, and I knew they were on the end of it, gave them LA and still didn't rebound. There was one that was panting and I gave him LA and he bounced back. So that's good. But yeah, there was probably 4 or 5 lambs lost in this heat. Very unfortunate, but you know, you got to learn things the hard way, and we definitely will not be lambing. We'll do everything in our power not to lamb in June and July from now on. 2 more things. So Ryan and I always say that we like that we are learning the hard lessons on, you know, this is 120 ewes. We didn't have all 120 lamb out. It was probably about 80 or so that lambed. So it's nice to learn on a smaller scale and not have, you know, our goal of 500 sheep and have a train wreck with that. So just hard lessons. The other thing is that we are going to be hopefully building some shade structures. We got some shade cloth in the mail and get those out here. Unsure if we want to do them for lambs and cattle. Like, we're just trying to figure out height wise what Ryan wants to do building wise, but we're excited to get some shade out here for these girls, because last year we ran them out here on this 240 acres and it went really well. I mean, it does have some hot days, but yeah, all in all, it went well. But it would be nice to give them some shade for those extremely hot and humid days that we have here in South Central Kansas. So that is all. I'm gonna go home and get to bed early so we can get up and work early. But stay tuned for more videos. Like I said, there'll be so much of learning, trying to figure out weaning, all these different age groups. I don't know what we're gonna have going on. It'll be okay. We'll figure it out. But beautiful sunset to end the day. So, okay, we'll see you later, guys. Thanks for watching.